Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 171 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
Man, what a week.
We're doing it, man. It's football season, and
feels good.
It feels good. The passage of time concerns me, but the events in the moment are good.
Passage of time.
Yeah,
is a good way to put it.
It hurts my soul.
Dude.
Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, we're that much closer to blank day, and then I realize that it's September, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that part I don't care for.
Yeah, my son just went into 5th grade.
Yeah,
he's going to junior high next year.
Jesus Christ,
which is crazy.
That's fucking nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So passage of time sucks. Time absolutely blows,
especially when you're trying to work on a project and you're stuck. And you're just like, how do I, in my case, fit the Magnificent Seven into this? That's what I want to do next. And I've been working on it, quote unquote, on it for months now. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, man, I really wanted to have more of the book done by the end of the year. And that's just not gonna happen.
Well, as a good example of passage of time, I don't know if you noticed what I was wearing.
Yes.
My Monroe Community College hat that I got when we were in college 16 years ago is when I got this hat.
Yep.
16 years.
Yeah, no, I think I've said it on the show before, but the thing that really truly bothers me right now is that McKenna Grace is seen as an adult, and she was born after I graduated high school.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
I don't care for it. She was the child actor for years, and now she's being shown off as an adult, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Well, why can't I think of her name? Hit Girl from...
Oh, Chloe Grace Moretz.
Just got married.
Yeah.
So it's like, Hit Girl just got married.
Yeah, and she's in her like early 30s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this one.
Fucking shit.
So that's our depressing intro to NerdPod Generations, folks. If this is your first time listening to us, please go back and listen to the 170 previous episodes of Pure Gold. You can find us at nerdpodgen.com. On our website, there are links on the homepage to the most recent episode of the podcast. There's also links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts where you can find all of our shows. There's also a link to YouTube, which you can go to youtube.com. Al has been uploading all past episodes, current episodes, so there's a lot of inventory. I'd like to say
it's very useful for the last couple episodes, which have all been 2+ hours, to just be able to be like, oh, here's the NFL segment.
Yes.
Here's this segment. You don't have to go hunting for Murderbot. It's right here.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
That you're doing a great job.
I appreciate it.
You do the legwork, and I do appreciate you.
You're the talent. You're the face of the franchise.
I am the Bill Murray. I'm just the full of shit one that comes in. I'm on time, though.
Yes.
And you know when I'm coming.
Yes.
So, and I mean that by showing the folks, not the dirty.
I was going to say.
So let's move on to Watch, Play, Read, which is like we start every episode. So, Al, you are running with it today.
Yes, I'm going to receive the kickoff.
Bridge between ours.
Yes, I'm receiving the kickoff.
Yes.
I wanted to return to a subject that I had brought up a few weeks ago, vis-a-vis David Harbour. Today's episode is, as long as we get to it, Thunderbolts.
Yes.
And so, as a salve to try and cover up the, I have to watch Thunderbolts, I watched Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein, which I talked about a few weeks ago. This is one of the weirdest movies I've seen in recent history. I don't know what to do with it.
Is it streaming or do you own it?
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Okay.
It was made shortly after season 2 of Stranger Things.
Okay.
And God, it is just like, so the movie starts, there's no opening credits or anything, but it starts with David Harbour talking about his father, David Harbour Jr. And so he walks up and there's a picture of David Harbour Jr. and it's David Harbour dressed as Orson Welles. And then he walks forward and he says, my grandfather was also an actor, and it's David Harbour the first, but it's just David Harbour dressed in older clothes. And then he says, hi, I'm David Harbour the third. And he walks forward and it's a picture of him like in the same outfit. So it's like, that's the tone of what we're going for. So essentially the plot of this movie, it's a mockumentary based around this idea that David Harbour is trying to learn more about his father, David Harbour. And David Harbour Jr. Who's not David Harbour's son, but David Harbour's dad. It's very this is the kind of humor that we're going for.
Yeah.
Had this cockamamie idea of airing plays on television, but having them done live. So it's a live play on television. And you're just like, okay. So David Harbour, our David Harbour, is trying to learn more and more about this. And meanwhile, he's also playing his dad, who is essentially just Orson Welles. And so you have this whole back and forth where he has this young actor that he's working with, who's this stud, and he hates him. He's doing interviews on MTV talking about this new young thing and how he doesn't know what acting really means. And he'll stop in the middle of
sounds batshit crazy.
He stops in the middle of the play to monologue about what acting actually means to upstage this kid during the production. And it's fucking crazy. The basis of the production is that Frankenstein did not create a monster, but he wants everybody to think that he did. And so he is playing the monster, and he's hired this kid, this assistant, to be Frankenstein. And so now this kid has to pretend to be Frankenstein while Frankenstein himself is watching as the monster, unable to say anything, watching this kid screw up all of his everything. Meanwhile, we're cutting back and forth with David Harbour talking to his father's friends and discussing his history and all these weird things. He's recreated his father's entire office. If you didn't know what the term Chekhov's gun was before watching this, you absolutely will after watching it, because it's a main focus of the story. Chekhov's gun as a concept is almost a MacGuffin in this movie, to the point where a character walks onto the stage and just sees a gun on a table. And it's just very blatantly produced. At one point, they talk about how the production was outliving its budget. And so they had to bring on sponsors. And one of the sponsors is Chekhov's guns. You know it's going to go off.
Oh, my God.
And so it's just really weird. And then it just ends. And you're just kind of being like, what? What was that?
How long is this?
It's like 50 minutes long. It is not long. But it is weird with 3 beards. And you're just kind of left being like, did David Harbour write this? Because he's not listed as the director or the writer. But is this like... Because this is the kind of batshit thing where you're like, maybe those are ghost writers. Maybe that's a ghost director and David Harbour did this whole thing. It seems weirdly personal for someone else to have written it for him. Yeah. But like, I don't know. It is weird. I go back and forth on saying whether it's worth watching. I think it's worth watching if you like really, really weird shit. If you're looking for something that makes no fucking sense from top to bottom, this might be your thing, because, man, there are just moments where you're like, what the fuck is actually happening with this? This is insane. At one point, because he's playing Orson Welles, he's captured the attraction of the leading lady. Okay. And this bleeds into the production of the show. I should say David Harbour Jr., David Harbour's dad, captures the attention of this leading lady. And they have a sex scene on screen in the laboratory until I think he gets a letter or something. Something interrupts them before anything can happen. But this same actress, so the David Harbour investigation portion of the show is supposed to take place years and years and years after this. That actress just shows up looking exactly the same in David Harbour, the investigator's office that he's recreated that was his dad's office. And everybody is just like, oh, you look great. And there's no other explanation for it. She is immediately kicked out. David Harbour is like, why are you here? And she's like, well, I loved your dad. And he's like, I don't want to hear about this. Get out of here. Because anytime he finds out bad news about his dad was his idol. And so every time he finds out like, oh, your dad was kind of a shitty person, he's like, I don't want to hear about this. We're going to move on to something else. So it's just like it's so weird. It's capital F weird. Okay, that's how weird it is.
That is crazy.
It's spelled with an F, and it's entertaining, but it's definitely like you're watching and you're like, where the fuck is this going? What is this? What am I supposed to do with it? Why did you give me all these pieces? I don't understand where they all fit together. So there was that. That was a whole thing. I wanted to talk about. We got Mario Kart World Tour.
Yes.
Because we bought a Switch off a certain somebody. That is a really fun game.
Isn't it fun?
I like that game
Knockout
a lot.
Tour is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the rubber banding on Knockout Tour is intense.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. And so I will say, as with everything, I always have my critiques. I always have my, well, I wish you blah, blah. Yeah. So obviously my first thing, I have to say it, you ruined my boy's face and I still am angry about it. Donkey Kong. But more so, there's this mechanic that I really like of unlocking costumes. I really, really like. I like that it almost is Dark Souls in a way of like, you don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
And so you get Kamek and you're like, it just comes through and it turns you into something else. And now you're a Monty Mole. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And then nothing happens. And you're like, okay, but that's how you unlock that character. Yeah. The way you get costumes is to get food items at these little Yoshi food stalls, which I love.
Yeah.
That's just so funny. The idea of Yoshi having a burger place is just endlessly funny to me. But I love that you get these costumes there. I love how many costumes there are for certain characters.
Yeah.
Why does Donkey Kong only have one costume,
I don't understand
Nintendo?
that either. And I unlocked that. My first costume unlocked was that.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then you were like, what? That's it? And then you look and like fucking Toadette and Baby Mario and fucking, who's another one that I was like, really? Lakitu has 3. Lakitu has 3. Donkey Kong has 1. And Lakitu has 3. Koopa Troopa has 5. What is this prioritization?
Especially the part that I didn't understand about that is Donkey Kong Bonanza came out shortly after that.
Yes!
And in Bonanza, you have
a bunch of costumes
you turn into, and you can also change your fur color. You couldn't tell me they couldn't have put that into Mario Kart?
It makes no sense to me.
I don't get that either.
It blew my mind when that happened. Like, when Pauline only has her dress and her bike suit, I'm like, that sucks, but like I kind of get it at the same time. And no baby form? Okay, that's lame. You literally just came out with a baby Pauline. Why is there no baby form in this? But then the Donkey Kong thing happened. I was like, what the hell, guys? Like, that's 2 strikes on you. You immediately out of the box.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You gotta have more costumes.
And I'll be honest, my big problem with Mario Kart World is I kind of knew this was going to happen, and I think this is what's going to happen with Smash Brothers when the new one comes out. 8 was so perfect. 8 Deluxe was so perfect in every way with the amount of characters you can be, with the amount of customization, the amount of tracks. To me, I don't think they could make another one.
Yeah.
And as much as I like this, I wish they would have just taken Knockout Tour, put it into 8 Deluxe, and just been like, here's a $10 upgrade. We'll upgrade like the speed and everything a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was so perfect.
Well, and like that's the other thing, is that I really like this as a base game.
Yeah.
But it does feel like it's missing a lot of elements. And it really feels like a game where I hope that we hear about how they're going to upgrade it.
They have to.
And there's going to be more to come. Because whether it's the fact that we've already played through almost the entire game, and we've had it for a week and a half.
Yeah.
So you're like, it's Mario Kart, so it's kind of evergreen, but at the same time, there was something about Mario Kart 8 where you never really felt like it got stale.
Yeah.
And there are elements of this that do feel like they're getting just a little stale.
And a lot of it was the amount of characters.
That's the thing.
Half? Maybe less than half of the amount of characters?
Well, and the big gripe that I have is that the characters that they chose are insanely stupid.
Yeah.
I want to come up with a better way to say it.
Cow.
Why did you... Listen, I get the bit. But, like, you can't have all of it. You can have some of it. But, like, the fucking conkled bird thing that bangs its beak down, or the fucking crab, or, you know, like, there's so many pointless characters that don't even have names.
Yeah.
And why is there a dry bones fish? Was there anybody begging for this? There's no Koopa Kids, but there's, like, dry bone fish and snowman? And who was asking for this?
Yeah.
You got rid of Diddy Kong and Funky. Those were huge ones for me.
Massive.
There's no Link. There's no villagers. There's no...
And that's the thing. No Link, no villagers, no Squid Kids.
Yeah.
The only way they could have upgraded from that is if they started putting characters for, like, I want Samus. I want characters from other... It's like, you already opened it up last game. It's not just Mario characters.
The box is open now.
Now you need to upgrade it more. Put Xenoblade characters.
Yes.
Put Fire Emblem characters. All that into there.
Yes. This should be Smash Brothers, but with carts.
Yes.
That's what this should be,
Yep.
and you took a significant step down instead.
Yep.
And it's just like, it'd be like if the next Smash Brothers was all Mario-orientated and had no non-Mario characters, but they still needed to have 40-ish fighters, and so they just were like, it's Bush! And it's like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nothing. And so it's like, can we get some of the good characters back that you had? Because a lot of those characters that you got rid of were my favorite characters. Mm-hmm. And then you gave Donkey Kong nothing, and you gave him a stupid new face. And so I'm essentially left, either driving as Yoshi, which I like the way that they did the Yoshi colors, but I would be lying if I didn't feel like it would be cool if you could switch the individual colors throughout the costume, so you weren't tied down. If you wanted to be pink Yoshi, you had to have this costume. If you want to be blue Yoshi, you have to have this costume. I would like to be able to tie those up a little bit, change them up, make them a little different. There's no cart customization. This is just your cart.
That blows my mind.
Why? Why is this
That's
just
been the
my
big
cart?
thing since the 3DS one, I think,
Yeah.
where they had the cart customization.
Yeah.
And then in the last game,
The
oh my
last
God.
fucking movie, Mario, the
Customized
movie.
carts.
There's a customized card
Yep.
option, and then you get rid of it. And so this is always my thing, and this has been my thing for so many things, whether it's Spider-Man games or fucking Mario games or Zelda games. If there is a regressive step, that's a huge issue for me. If we had something and it was good and it worked and it didn't glitch and it didn't have problems, and then you got rid of it, and there's not a good rational reason why,
Yep.
I can't help but give you a deduction on that because you had this. You had it done. You knew what you were doing. What you needed to do was continue to upgrade the product as it was. And this is just nothing. Why can you only do free roam with more than one person in online mode and no more than 2 people on a console? That's fucking dumb. That's fucking dumb. And like, I'm so sick of companies who change and regress a product, not to make it better, but specifically to make it so that people have to buy more of the product.
Yeah.
You know, and so I look at like Fallout 76 versus like Dropout. So Fallout 76, like the product's not good, and then you have to buy stuff in the game to make the product better. Whereas Dropout, they're like, we want people to share our product. We don't care about, you know, how many people you share it with. We want people to have it, and that'll grow subscriptions on its own. And it feels like when I'm watching Dropout, I'm not seeing something where the money, you can see where all the money is going. Nintendo, this feels like an attempt to make us buy more Switch 2s.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to hang out with your kids on free roam and just drive around? Well, you're all going to have to go and get your own Switch 2s, and everybody's going to have to play on their own, and maybe mom and kid can play on one, and dad and kid can play on one, and then kid and kid can play on a third one, but you're going to have to get 3 Switch 2s, as opposed to what I grew up with, which was 8-way playing. What happened to that? When the Wii had 8-player gaming? What happened to that? That was 3 consoles ago. You can't tell me that you can't do free roam with more than 2 people because the game just is incapable of doing that. I don't buy that. I just don't buy that as a concept.
I'm trying to remember. I think this game specifically, you can use your Switch 1 as a second Switch without having to use the cart.
Is that true?
I'm 99% sure. I'm trying to remember. I know there's one game, I think it is this one, that you can actually use the Switch 1 and play this game going off of the cart of Switch 2.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not 1,000% sure. I'm
You're guessing.
kind of spitballing here. But you know about the online controversy too, the self-inflicted online controversy.
No, I don't know about this.
So online players desperately wanted to play, hey, if we do online multiplayer, we want to be able to do the old school way of 3 individual courses and not do this, one that's progressive. And they found a glitch to do it, and Nintendo got rid of the glitch. And it's like, why are you self-inflictingly killing? You're telling people this is how, this is what killed me when I left the restaurant industry. We were telling people, this is how you are going to pay for your food because this is how we want to tell you to do it. Instead of saying, hey, you're going to have the opportunity to do it any way you want. Well, here you have people saying, we want to play your game. We want to buy your system. And we want to just have this way of playing it online, and we will be more than happy. And Nintendo's saying, no, you're going to do it the way
you don't
we
get
want
to do that.
And it's like, that's pissing off the online community.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Haven't you watched what happened to Xbox with the Xbox One, Sony with the PS3? It's like, you're fucking it up.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. Going back to this whole idea that this is the beginning of the new Nintendo Guard, you can see that there's a different set of priorities in terms of what is the product. The product now is about having multiplayer friend groups as long as everybody has their own system. And it's about mechanics that are inconceivably difficult to get through. I tried to transfer over my Pokemon files from my Switch to the Switch 2, and basically it was like, well, even though you have the cartridges, you have to abandon your files on one of the systems. So either you can have it on your current Switch or you can transfer it over to the Switch 2, but you can't have both. And I'm like, why? I own the game. I own both consoles. It's my save data. Why do I have to choose which console it's on? It should be able to be on both, right? Yeah. It's not like when I download it off the cloud, it automatically deletes it from the cloud, except that it kind of does because the game is gate kept so that it can only go in one direction. And that's stupid.
It is dumb.
That's fucking dumb. Why are you doing this?
This is classic Nintendo, though. If you remember during the 3DS Wii U era, if you, for some reason, lost your 3DS, you couldn't just log into a new one and have your data. You had to call Nintendo. They had to go online, and you got to do that, I think, once or twice a year. So for some reason, something like your system crashed and you had to reboot it and reset it. There were tons of issues. Like, they've always been difficult with this.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I can go buy an Xbox, bring it home, plug it in. All of my stuff will download onto it. Same with the PlayStation.
We have a roommate living with us at the moment, and he has Genshin Impact, and he downloaded it onto our PS5 along with his saves. No problem. It was not an issue. Yes. And I don't get this. Yeah. If it's not for money, then why is it Nintendo? Because the only thing it smells of to me is a money grab.
Oh, it's absolutely a money grab.
This is an inconvenience fee.
And the problem is, I still adore Nintendo.
Yes!
And I love the Switch,
It's the NFL all over again.
I love it.
And it's just like, man, football is the most corrupt, terrible industry. They're talking all the time about how they're running out of money, and yet they brought a fucking sewing machine to Sao Paulo because the field conditions for the stadium that they had rented were under their quality level. And so they literally restitched the entire field. Yeah. But the NFL is worried about running out of money, and they're a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So no, this is insane. You have to be crazy to believe that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do like the game. As with so many of my reviews, this is me saying I do like it.
Yeah.
But I would be remiss to say that it's perfect and that it has no flaws. It desperately needs a few upgrades in terms of the quality of the game is fine, but the elements of the game need to be upgraded.
Yes.
All across the board. And I don't know if that's a thing that they're going to prioritize or not. I hope so.
Like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a full Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
This is a Hungry Man turkey microwave dinner.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
And that's what it is. And it's still, like, you'll still eat it. Yeah. It's still enjoyable, but it's nothing like the turkey dinner you had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool. I like the new elements. I wish the old elements were still here, though.
Yeah.
And that nothing is going to change that. There's no, like, oh, you can play as Nabbit. You don't miss Link. No. I do miss Link.
Yeah.
Because this is fucking stupid.
It's so fucking
Why
stupid.
is Conkeldurr in here, but Link isn't?
Yeah.
The none of the Koopa kids? But none of the Koopa kids? But are you sure?
And ever since they put Link in Mario Kart 8, he has been my character.
Right? Exactly.
I've never had anyone else.
Yeah.
So I was so bummed.
It's just like, why are we doing this way? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense with the products you've come out with recently. Yeah. It doesn't make sense with the history of the games or your history writ large. I just don't get it. It's a fine enough game. It should be better. Yeah. And anytime I see something that should be better, I'm going to say it should be better.
And once again, that's why I'm concerned, because in my opinion, there have only been two what I would consider perfect video games, and one I don't even like to play, and that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, because the programming, the way they ran, the amount of options, everything was impeccable. You could not find a fault in either of those fucking games.
Yeah,
and there's I don't know how you can improve.
Yeah,
and this proves it with this, because it's like, okay, it's on a new system, but
they decided to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to improve it, they were like, okay, well, we're just going to try and rebuild it in a new way that still captures the imagination. And it's like, okay, but
it's not there.
Could you not? Oh.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about is that Mortal Kombat has officially been delayed until 2026.
No.
Yeah. And so I think it's coming out March 2026 now, but it has officially been delayed.
Hopefully it's for good reasons, though.
I hope so. I don't want to hear about reshoots. I want to hear like, oh, we needed to get the graphics right, and it's
That's
not
what
done
I'm
yet.
hoping for, because off of the trailer, I don't think anyone had a complaint with the trailer.
No.
So there shouldn't be reshoots.
No, there's no need for a Sonic redo or anything like that. So, that I saw that and I was like, well, that is a stone cold bummer, because I was looking forward to that. That was coming out in November. It's now been delayed, and man, I just want it to be good, and I want to watch it.
We'll have to still watch and review. We got to discuss Tron Ares, because
I was about to say,
10th.
yeah. Well, my favorite thing. So I've been watching a lot of football. This will be my way to segue into football. Tron Ares has had a lot of commercials during this era.
Was it Saquon Barkley was in the one?
Yeah, which was weird.
The Eagles game, which was weird.
But the thing that gets me is that they have Evan Peters talking about how he's created the perfect warrior pulled from the digital universe or the digital world. And all I can hear in my mind is the Digimon theme song.
Nice.
Digitron, digital Tronsters, Digitrons are the champions. And it's just like, yeah, okay, this is where we're going. All right. So I do want to watch this movie. Yeah. I'm not getting nervous, but the tightrope is getting higher.
Well, here's my concern is they're obviously now are promoting it, which is our biggest complaint of the past Tron movies. So now it's got to be good.
Now it's got to be good.
If you want Tron to continue, now it has to be good.
And they're promoting it for the soundtrack, which I'm excited about.
Awesome. 9 Inch Nails, awesome.
But like, I'm still looking at the Jared Leto shape at the center of this movie and wondering,
what Jared Leto are we going to get?
Is this going to work? Because it's usually when it's him, it doesn't work. And, I don't know. I want this to be really good, because a lot of the people around it are really good. I think Gillian Anderson is in this. Evan Peters. Jeff Bridges shows up probably for like 1 minute of the entire movie. But that's enough. So like Awkwafina is not in it, but there's a cop that looks like Awkwafina. So like I want this to be good. I love the concepts of it. I just, as it gets closer, I get more and more nervous. And we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of nervous, the NFL season has started.
Yes.
And the funniest few things have happened since we recorded. We did not record that long ago. Yeah. But there was like an avalanche of things that happened in the lead up to the season, which we have to discuss. So first and foremost, Micah Parsons left the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So all of those predictions that we were saying about Jerry and his nonsense and the Packers, I feel bad for you, dude. Now you got a problem 2 times a year.
Well, and that's the thing is I picked the Packers to not do well, but and a lot of people are saying well, he's just one player. There's 2 things his addition does. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, this all depends on how his back is.
Yes.
Because
his back is legitimately upset.
But now we know it's legitimately wrong.
He had to have a cortisone shot.
Yes, and he might not play.
Yeah.
Coming against, was it Detroit they're playing tomorrow? The Packers, the problem with their offense is their defense was okay, but their offense always had to like air it out to try to catch up.
Yeah.
And that caused a lot of turnovers. Well, now you have somebody on defense who can help the defense become a top 10 defense easily, and that will help the offense not having to air it all the time, and they can run the ball more. So this is going to make the team all around better, and that's going to make my life miserable.
Well, and like to people who say it's just one guy, here's the thing, is that one guy is like a fucking black hole.
Yes.
And he pulls attention to him.
Yes.
And so now you have guys like Rashawn Gary, who wasn't bad, but wasn't given a lot of opportunities to be great, who's now going to have more opportunities to jump in with both feet. And so Micah Parsons is going to pull attention.
Yes.
And if you don't, then you're going to have problems. So it's really a lose-lose on a lot of fronts. I get that whole idea of it's only one guy, it's a team sport. But, like, listen, when the one guy is like this...
You asked Tampa what happened when Brady went there. Yeah. It's just one guy.
Yeah, it's just one guy. Okay. It's just one guy. What's he going to do?
Just one guy.
Listen, if you've seen the Ravens defense from 2002, that was a team full of, it's just one guy. What's he going to do? It's just Ed Reed. What's he going to do? It's just Jonathan Ogden. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's he going to do?
Yeah.
I do laugh at everybody who's like, okay, Jordan Love is going to be the MVP this year.
No.
You're out of your fucking
head. That's not going to happen.
You need to calm down.
He's just not going to have 40 turnovers. That's the difference. I think that's going to take that pressure off.
Yeah, he's not going to have to play hero ball as much. Exactly. But, like, Their new guy, Matthew Golden, is an unknown commodity, so he could be great.
Could be great.
He could be fucking, who's the guy? Jalen Rieger, taken before Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, you never know with this kind of thing. It's important to look at how many receivers were taken before Justin Jefferson. And to remember that the Bills could have had Justin Jefferson, but we traded for Stephon Diggs instead.
Which, at the time, after, looked like it was a
good plan. But it has spoiled like milk.
Yes.
It's no good.
So I do need to bring up the first game of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let
me explain to you my fantasy football right now.
Okay.
Going into this week, I had Philadelphia's defense. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start their defense. They're at home playing against Dallas.
How'd that go for you?
Here's the thing. Not only did I have their defense, but I had, what's his name? Dallas's running back in one of my leagues.
Williams.
I had him starting in Phil's, and I'm like, Philly's defense is they're really good against, they're going to shut him down. So I benched him.
Oh, no.
Started Philly's defense.
Oh, no. You got it on both sides.
Their number one defender and run stopper spits on Dak Prescott before the first play, out of the game. And so Dallas' running back runs for 2 scores.
That was the wildest beginning to a season ever. So before the game even starts, you have the banner raising, and the Eagles aren't there because Nick Sirianni, being the quote-unquote genius that he is. Also, real quick aside, I want to add to the list of offenses brought on by the Chiefs being given help that Nick Sirianni is now a Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah.
That's on the list of things that have happened specifically because the Chiefs were put in a position that they never should have been in.
Yes.
Which we'll get to in a second.
Oh, I can't wait to get to that.
But so Nick Sirianni makes this whole to-do about, like, we're not going to attend. We're focused. We're moving on to... Bask with your fucking fans, dude.
Exactly.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
This
isn't about you.
You don't think that'll fire your fucking team up?
Yeah.
To see that banner up there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
This isn't about you, the individual. This is about everybody in this goddamn city, and now you're taking something from them to prove a point? Yeah. I don't understand this. This fucking sucks. The idea that he had presented it as, I didn't know that was going to happen. I don't know if that's fake or real.
Oh, there's no way. That's all they were promoting for like weeks.
But he's a sociopath.
Oh, he's a fucking idiot.
He's insane. So anyway, Nick Sirianni, I don't like him. And now he has won a Super Bowl. Like, what's the other guy? Peterson. Same exact circumstances.
Oh, Doug Peterson.
Of just like, and now, and now this guy can go and get a bunch of money from the Jacksonville Jaguars because they're going to be like, he won the Super Bowl.
He won the Super Bowl.
Well, did he? I mean, he did, but like, I don't think it was him that won that Super Bowl.
His Super Bowl was the same as Gruden's in Tampa, and why can't I think of his name? The guy that replaced Jimmy Johnson in Dallas.
Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer's. They took over the team.
Yeah.
That was a Super Bowl winning team, and then they just happened to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, did you hear that recently, with all the Cowboys stuff going on, that multiple members of the Cowboys, I believe it was Emmitt Smith and either Michael Irvin or Troy Aikman. We already knew Troy Aikman didn't like Barry Switzer, but pretty much the entire team who won that third Super Bowl did not attribute it to Barry Switzer.
Oh, no.
They all were like, this was Jimmy's win. Absolutely. He just wasn't here for it. Because Barry Switzer was an exceptionally hands-off coach.
Yeah.
He had more hands on the gun he brought to the airport than he did on that team.
Yep. I brought up Tampa because their defensive player said Dungy was the same way. And when Gruden came in, he goes, no, it was Dungy's Super Bowl.
Well, and Gruden also had the benefit of having fucking what's-his-nuts just absolutely decide, I'm not even going to change anything. I'm not going to change my snap count or anything from the offense that John Gruden designed.
Exactly.
Callahan. Bill Callahan, the head coach.
Yeah.
And then he changed his game plan from the run to the pass, which Gruden knew all the signals for.
Yeah.
The night before the Super Bowl.
It's fucking dumb.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
When Jerry Rice and Tim Brown are like, he blew it on purpose. Mm-hmm. He wanted to be with Gruden, and so the next best thing was to give Gruden a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And that's why it was such a fucking blowout, was because Bill Callahan, for whatever reason, fucking botched the entire thing.
That's fucking nuts.
Anyway, so the Eagles-Cowboy game was fucking crazy.
It was nuts. And then the lightning...
Well, like, on top of... So you had the thing with the banner raising, the kickoff. A guy busts his Achilles on the kickoff.
Yeah.
While they're carting him off, this other guy spits on Dak Prescott. And you're just like, everybody calm down.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's not just another guy. It's their number
Jalen
one
Carter.
Like,
yeah.
He's the one that even Dak said, which we found out afterwards, that Dak had spit in his direction.
But not on him.
And then he's like, I didn't know how that he was going to react. He's their best player.
Yeah.
We put our whole game plan around him.
I was hoping
Are
to
you out of your fucking mind?
I was hoping to draw 15 yards. I didn't think he was going to spit on me.
That was so bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
And they still lost the fucking game, which made it even better.
Well, they lost because CeeDee Lamb got a terrible case of the dropsies. The going back and forth on this between people is insane. This idea of like, oh, CD had a terrible night versus, oh, CD had a great night, but had a bad ending.
He had a great first half.
He did.
He had an awful second half.
Absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
That whatever happened with that lightning storm, it killed everything in that game.
Yep.
There were no strikes, but damn if that whole game wasn't killed by that storm.
Oh, absolutely.
But man, those 3 drops I watched it the next day.
They're terrible.
They're nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
He's never going to forget that. He's going to be 80 years old.
Will never win.
Yeah.
Like, this team is just jinxed.
Yeah.
And I even remember when they gave him the contract, I'm like, he's been a dropper.
Yeah. Don't. You can give him a good contract, but not this good.
No.
It's the same as Dak. This is the same as all the Cowboy stuff, is that they wait too long, and then they overprice their own stuff, and then they price themselves out of all these markets.
Yep.
And it's almost like Jerry Jones is almost 90 and terrible at what he does.
Yeah.
Crazy. I know.
I'm so happy they lost.
I feel bad for Cowboy fans, but I also know some Cowboy fans.
Honestly, I don't feel bad for Cowboy fans.
I know some Cowboy fans who are like, these are my papers. I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm done with this.
It's like somebody saying they feel bad for Bears fans.
Yeah.
I know what I'm getting into every season.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad for me. I have a mental condition that has me root for this team for 40 years and seen one Super Bowl and heartbreak.
Yeah.
So you can't feel bad for a Dallas fan. They know what they're getting into.
Well, that's the funny thing, is that Dallas fans, there's now 2.5 generations of people that may have been alive for a Cowboys Super Bowl, but the vast majority of Cowboy fans that are like young, that are 30 and under, they've never seen a Super Bowl.
I was in high school when they won their last Super Bowl. I turned 50 next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, fuck off.
And so there's a lot of people, they get dumped on every year, but there's a lot of people that are Cowboy fans, and, you see people around the NFL being like, these are resilient fans. Listen, they've been through it for a while now, and they get pummeled every year by the media because of the way Jerry runs the team, and they have just had to go through this crucible for 30 years. And as somebody who went through a crucible for 20 years... it's not fun.
No.
It fucking sucks. It's real bad.
Yeah.
The Eagles win. Good job, Eagles. Jalen Hurts is a beast. I think he's going to... everybody this year has been talking about other quarterbacks. I think this is the year where Jalen Hurts is like, I am also MVP worthy, and you will know my name.
And it is impressive, the calm.
Yeah.
Like, he almost looks like he's asleep sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's like he's just so calm.
Yeah, he's focused.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then we get to Sao Paulo.
Oh my god.
And the Chiefs Chargers.
Dude.
The first thing I thought was, man, it sucks that this is a Chargers home game, except that I think that this is a better crowd than they would have gotten in LA anyway.
Well, and this shows you how much the NFL wants the Chargers to not win because they want the Chiefs to win. Mm-hmm. The Chargers had the longer of the flights.
Yep.
And from here they have to fly to Vegas because they have to do a road game.
Yeah.
Where the Chiefs, they're playing the Eagles, but they get to go home.
They get to go home. And it's
a dick.
It's a 3 hour less. They don't have to fly over the mountains.
Yes.
The Chargers have to fly over the mountains to go home, so that then they can fly over the mountains again to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So no, I agree. It was a dick move on the NFL's part. But going back to this idea that the Chiefs get everything handed to them, I do feel like the NFL looked around and they were like, we're in like real trouble with this. Like, there's enough evidence that people are getting real sniffy about it, and this is a real problem. So Rashee Rice, 6-game suspension out of the box. You're not going to start the season.
Which we were saying that it would have been fucked up if he had.
If he had been able to start the season.
So they actually did something proper.
But that's the point, isn't it? Is that last year, I don't think that happens.
No, not at all.
I don't think that happens. And to that same end, there were all kinds of calls last night that would have been calls last year for the Chiefs that they didn't get.
Yes.
To the point where Patrick Mahomes is just taking shots because he seems to think that he's going to be given a flag if he takes this shot. No, dude, you're an open runner. And the entire NFL got all up in arms when you got flags last year for being an open runner and roughing the quarterback calls.
And that's the thing that pissed me off, though. In the game, he has that run out of bounds where he levels the
sound
Chargers
guy.
player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you look at that, the Chargers player held up because he knew in his head if he hit Mahomes, he probably would have got a penalty.
Yeah.
So he was kind of off balance when Mahomes hit him.
Yeah.
And all were like, oh my God, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, if that guy wanted to blast him, he would have fucking blasted him.
Oh, yeah.
But he knew that he would have got the call against him.
And you can still see it on the sidelines.
Yes.
When Mahomes is running up the sidelines, and you can just see the Charger players being like, I'm not going to level him. I got to push him out of bounds, but if he goes out of bounds while I'm in the action of pushing him, then he's going to sell it and get 15. Yep. How do I do this? And so it's just watching these guys thread a needle at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I'm glad that the NFL stopped calling some of this shit because holy shit, you can see just how bad it is by how people are acting now.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really bad. I genuinely think the NFL sent out an email to the referees being like, you cannot give calls to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Everything has to be buttoned up completely. Yep. I want no unnecessary calls this entire game.
Yep.
That was a good game.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
The defense, I got to say, Chiefs defense looks like shit.
Yep.
Which I absolutely adored. And, Mahomes kind of looked like dog shit.
Kind of looked like
shit. He missed a lot of throws.
Yeah.
He had 2 picks that should have been picks.
Yeah.
That were not picks.
Yeah.
One was called back for a penalty, right?
Yeah.
And then one got dropped.
Yeah.
That were like, and then I think there was a third that was in a guy's hands. And then there was that fucking I'm so tired of this. Oh, it was a Mahomes play where he flicked the ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't a throw.
No.
He was getting hit and his arm went, and it was lucky that thing wasn't picked off. He just gets away with that shit.
Well, and
I don't know what luck.
To that same end, Justin Herbert in the exact same game made the exact same play. Yeah. But his guy didn't catch the ball, and it was almost picked off, and everybody was like, oh, so risky, so risky.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, Mahomes did the exact same thing 2 quarters later, and everybody's like, that's just Mahomes being Mahomes.
And you think about it, the reason is, and they've shown this, they do practice those throws.
Yeah.
Where no other team does. I guarantee you, Harbaugh's not like, hey, do a fucking shuffle pass practice.
Oh, my God.
No goddamn way.
We got to talk about Harbaugh. You want to talk about who almost blew that game? There were several moments where the Chargers were like, we're going to charge her. And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You're going to blow this now? And they were like, we're going to charge her. It's going to be great. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
The delay of game where Jim just didn't call a timeout. Why? It's the 4th quarter, Jim. You got to call a timeout, Jim. You have a bunch of them. You can't take 10-yard loss right now, Jim.
It's that bullshit I hate with these coaches that think they're geniuses where it's like, we can't use a timeout. We got to have all 3 for the last minute. It's like, no, you fuck.
You won't get to the last minute.
Exactly. You're not. That's why Mahomes always wins those fucking games. It's because they do this stupid, they outthink themselves.
Yeah. Oh, it was at the end of the second quarter. That was what it was.
Yeah.
It was at the end of the second quarter, and the Chiefs got the ball back as a result, and were able to score 3 points.
They got that rush field goal.
And it was just like, Which,
I do love that they had that rush run onto the field, 59-yard field goal, and then his next kick, he missed an extra point. That was the greatest thing ever. I love that so much.
Fuck Harrison Butker. He can get fucked.
Idiot.
It was a good game. I was just really glad that the Chargers played as well as they did.
Man, Herbert looked amazing.
I was listening to the commentary, and every time Eisen was like, Herbert throwing again. I was like, what the fuck do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's not going to throw?
All offseason, all they could talk about is, it's Jim Harbaugh, second year. They're just going to run the ball like crazy. Run. It's like, but then you all have Herbert as in the top 5 quarterbacks. So if he's going to fucking throw the ball.
And you just got Keenan Allen back.
Dude.
And you have some pretty good wide receivers on the edge. You got
made
McConkey.
Eberflus look even worse for the Bears last year because you saw Keenan Allen look like Keenan Allen 10 years ago.
Yeah. He had a touchdown and everything. He looked great.
Had some big catches.
And so just like as I'm listening to this commentary, I'm like, this sucks. But you know what sucks more is every time they cut away to a YouTuber who's never been on TV for real before. Mm-hmm. And my favorite was a YouTuber. I don't remember what his name was. But he was covering the sidelines. And he had supposedly played some football at some level as his claim to fame. His analysis was... Usually at home games, it's the home team who has more fans. But here, because we're international, there are fans from all kinds of fan bases. Yeah.
You don't.
No shit, Sherlock. That was it. That was it.
And it was kind of weird turning on YouTube to watch a football game. I mean, I like it because if they show games, it's free. So it's not like something I have to get a subscription for or find. It's fucking weird, though.
It was weird. And it was weird because I have YouTube TV, and that's how I watch most football games. And they didn't have all the qualities of a YouTube TV stream, which I kind of thought like this would be a way to get people to buy YouTube TV. Like, hey, you like watching this? This is the experience that you would have if you watched it on YouTube TV. No, they didn't do that. And I found that kind of puzzling. I didn't get that. Also, deeply puzzling, we've been watching a lot of football. Yeah. When they added the line of scrimmage to the Chiron, what color is it typically?
Like red or
It's
something?
like blue.
Like blue or red,
Yeah, blue or red. Not on YouTube. They decided, of all colors, to choose white. So now...
It looks like a line.
It looks like one of the lines on the field. And you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
So that made no sense to me. But
it was ridiculous.
Overall, good game. I'm excited for football, and I'm worried about the Bills against the Ravens. We'll see how that goes.
I would be concerned.
I am concerned. I think we're going to lose this game, but win the season. That's how I'm looking at it right now.
I think that would be a good, because you gotta assume the Ravens are infamous for having some kind of injury concern. I mean, so are the Bills, but if Josh stays healthy, I think they have a solid chance of going the long haul. But yeah, I'd be a little concerned about this. Yeah. But luckily the Chiefs lost.
Yes.
So that's always
that's an enormous step up.
Huge.
God, if the Chiefs go 9-8 this year, it would make me so happy. It would make me so happy.
Philly looked, there's a good chance they're 0-2. Because Philly looked, and mind you, their defense wasn't spectacular in the first half.
Because they were missing
but they had a
Carter.
really solid second half adjustments.
Yeah.
So if they put Carter back in there, in the way that, there's no way the Chiefs are stopping their offense.
Yeah.
They're not stopping that Eagles offense. That Eagles offense looked fucking amazing.
And by comparison, the Chiefs defense was so out of sorts at the end of the Chargers game.
Yeah.
To the point where they were shouting at each other.
Yep.
And it's just like, okay, we'll see how this goes.
And everyone's like, well, it's a Chiefs home game. Chiefs do also have a very long flight back. And the Eagles were at home, and they're going to be able to rest a little bit and then get on a plane and go right to Kansas City.
And I think they both play on Sunday, so they both have a little bit of an extended week anyway. So
I'm excited.
Every day counts.
I'm excited.
I want to see the Chiefs lose, please and thank you.
Yes, that would be awesome. I want to do a quick shout out. I know we talked about video games already. I've been deep into Fortnite, and I can't help myself, and it's driving me nuts that I'm so deep into it. I was playing a match with my son and one of his friends yesterday, and it made me so happy, and I was smiling. My wife thinks I'm an idiot. We were playing a game of trios, and I had 18 kills, and I was in this zone at one point where I took out like 7 guys within a minute, and I could hear my son's friend go, "Oh, your dad is cooking," and I'm like, "Yes, he is!" And I had this big grin on my face. I'm like, "Dude, I'm almost 50. I'm playing a kid's game, and I'm cooking right now, baby!" And I was tearing it up, and it was awesome.
That's what I want to tell to all dads who don't know how to be dads. Is like, you just get to be the oldest kid in the room.
Yes,
you get to
embrace it,
and you get a level of responsibility where you can tell the other kids what to do.
Yes,
but you are still the oldest kid in the room.
Yes,
that's it. That's the game.
And like you look at these other dads, and I know all the rest of them are like poo-pooing video games, and they're not. And it's like, dude, embrace the shit your kids love, because then when you can do it with their friends, you're looked at as a god.
Yeah. Because
you, once again, like you said, are not only the big kid, but you're the authority figure who is doing the thing they love.
Yeah.
And you are crushing it. And they are like, my son was so excited. Like, he loves it.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's so great.
No,
it was amazing.
I strive to be one of those dads where my kids resent me for all their friends liking me.
Yeah, I don't want that. And I'll tell you why I don't want that. Because I can see my son having some issues with some of his friends to where I don't know if they think that he's on their level, but you know, some of them, he has a limit as how much he can play video games per day. It's like an hour during school, an hour and a half on the weekends. His friends don't have any limits, so they'll play 3-4 hours of video games.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are really good at Fortnite. And it's like, I'll always make sure to put in there, "Hey, you're doing great, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're awesome. just because I don't want them to like say your dad's so much better than you. I don't want that.
Yeah.
That is like,
or like
my nightmare is to hear that.
Or like that feeling of like, do they like me or do they like my dad?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he has had a couple times his friends say, "Oh, can your dad play?" And it's like, no, you should want my son to play with you. And so it's like, I like, it's a weird thing.
It's a balance.
It is a balance. It is definitely a balance. But my son and I, we sat down and I'm like, we need to watch a movie because there is right now in Fortnite, one of the skins you can get, it's Power Ranger season.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm not going to show you the old Power Rangers. So we're going to watch the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Oh yeah, the one with
on Netflix.
Billy
Elizabeth
from Stranger
Banks,
Kids.
Billy from Stranger Things. I keep forgetting about this. Bryan Cranston is Zordon.
Yep.
Who he voiced the original one in the first. It's like in the first season.
Is that true?
He has a connection to Power Rangers.
Huh.
And also the little robot, which
It's Bill Hader.
It's Bill Hader.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome, dude. I forgot how good that fucking movie is. There's one issue with that movie, and the tone is great, the acting is great, the special effects are really good, everything is great about it. The only part that is cringeworthy and it fucking blows my brain every time is when they're first get into their Zords and are going to fight Rita Repulsa. They put in the classic "Go Go Power Ranger." It's literally 1 second. And it's enough to make me want to blow my brains out. Because I'm like, that movie is fucking awesome. If you have not seen it, it's on Netflix. Go watch it. And if you've not seen it in a while, go watch it. It holds up. It is fucking great. It is dark. It has violence. Like, Rita Repulsa's terrifying. She like full on kills people.
It has Krispy Kreme.
The Krispy Kreme, but it's like, it's product placement. I'm used to that shit.
Yeah. No, that was just like the easy like tap in that everybody had after it came out.
And
of like
when in
the end of this is
2017
Krispy
was
Kreme?
like the big Krispy Kreme renaissance thing. It was huge, dude. Elizabeth Banks was great as Rita Repulsa. Mm-hmm. The costumes were great. The actors all were perfect. I love how they got the Black Ranger to play the Blue Ranger and the Asian man to play the Black Ranger. And the Black Ranger says, "Hey man, I'm black." He's like, "No, you're not." And it's like, that I liked because there was always that thing. They got away with that. They got
the Asian girl to play the Yellow Ranger and the black guy to play the Black Ranger.
Exactly. Like, you still had the girl to play the Pink Ranger. But it was so fucking awesome. And my son was like, I loved that movie. I cannot wait for a sequel. And I'm like, it'll never happen. Sorry. Because when that movie came out, Power Rangers were just not cool anymore.
Yeah.
And I wish that like Fortnite would have been a thing then and they'd done the skins, because I think this movie would have been massive.
I will say he has some good news. And that is that Power Ranger fans are my age.
Yes.
And a lot of them are making really high quality fan movies. And so if he wants more stuff, there is more stuff out there for him. Yeah. I do think that Bandai is going to try and take another bite of that apple.
If they do, they gotta do what this movie did.
Yeah.
This was a PG-13, not really for little kids movie. And that's what because little kids don't give a fuck. They don't know what the fuck Power Rangers are. They're not going to go back and watch those shows. Those shows are fucking terrible. It's like going back and watching old Doctor Who. It ain't fucking working, man. You ain't doing that shit. And this movie was like it was dark in a lot of parts. I'm like, God damn, this movie's fucking, it's pushing it. Like, one of the Rangers, the Blue Ranger dies and they have to bring him back to life. But the death scene is like fucking horrifying.
Well, doesn't either the Pink or the Yellow Ranger have a home life issue or something? I feel like one of the kids has like problems at home and another one has an eating disorder or something.
So it's not really problems at home. Like, one of them wants to be she's supposed to be like this super cheerleader and her parents are like super pressuring her. The other one has a very like rough, not rough family life, but her family's like always on her case and everything. It's the Black Ranger. His mom is sick and they live in a trailer park.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Red Ranger, his dad, it's the classic. He's the star quarterback and he gets in trouble and his dad says you ruin your career and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, just the fucking movie is so good.
Yeah.
And the redesign of not only the costumes, but the Megazord at the end is fucking, it looks like a modern day, like Robotech kind of robot. It's awesome, and everything is great about it. And I'm sitting there like, God damn, I wish this movie would have been successful.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
No, and well, like the funniest thing to me about it is that it has that Scott Pilgrim kind of flavor in that so many of the people that weren't big names before it came out became big names after it came out.
Yes.
And so specifically Naomi Scott is like a pretty big deal. She was Princess Jasmine. She was in Smile 2 last year. Her star is rising. And it's just like anytime you see that, it's always so exciting.
Okay, so Bryan Cranston wasn't Zordon, but he played Twin Man and Snizzard in the original Power Rangers show. So he was in the show back in the 90s.
I do remember him having a connection back to it. So, yeah,
I mean, to get him this was like at the height of Breaking Bad fame, and he played Zordon, which was so awesome.
Yeah,
and he's great in it. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it just because like I was never part of the Power Rangers a-thon.
Yeah,
I was not allowed.
I was already 17 when they were like.
I wasn't allowed because it had black magic in it. But I remember a lot of hardcore Power Ranger fans really, really enjoying this movie.
I'm telling you, I would recommend it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Look it up, watch it. You will enjoy it. And what this rolls into what we're going to be talking about next. This was what a good superhero movie.
Yes.
And that's what you take away from this is a superhero movie, and it is done so well, and it's done everything is pitch perfect with it.
Yeah.
And it's what they should be doing now.
Yeah, and as opposed to what we're about to Oh, that was it. The Black Ranger is in Mortal Kombat. He's Liu Kang.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's Liu Kang. And so, yeah, I knew there was another guy who had moved on to bigger and better things since Power Rangers came out. Are we ready? Do we want to dig into
it's time for Thunderbolts.
The most recent idea Marvel is pitching at us?
Their new Disney Plus.
Oh, boy. Okay, so Thunderbolts. Asterisk. I won't call it anything else because I refuse to acknowledge what you want me to acknowledge because you barely want me to acknowledge what you're asking me to acknowledge. Yeah. This is... my review when Kelly came back home... So, a little behind the scenes. I watched this movie at 4 a.m. Because Pippin woke me up and needed to go outside. And so I took him outside, and at that point, it was the day we were going to record. And so I was like, well, I can either wait and watch it with Kelly later, or I can just rip this Band-Aid off now. And so I ripped it off at 5 a.m. because I was awake. When Kelly came down and asked me how it was, it's fine, but it's not good. I think like some of the quarterbacks we talked about in our NFL preview, it is mediocre, which is to say it's not bad, but it is mediocre. It's not good. I can't help but look at everything about this movie and be like, once again, Marvel, you came away with the wrong answer on everything. And I just don't understand some of the decisions made during the course of this film, both in terms of the production, but also in terms of what the characters do. So this one, I don't know. I struggled with this one.
And that was kind of my takeaway from this. When it was done, I remember thinking, there's obviously going to be comparisons with Suicide Squad because that's pretty much what this is.
Marvel trying
Suicide
to,
Squad.
yeah.
The difference between this and the last Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one, is I actually cared about, and by care about, like interested in, liked the characters.
Yeah.
I could give a fuck about any of these characters. Like, they were all, and I usually love Bucky, and Florence Pugh is great, just as an actor, but the characters themselves, I didn't give a shit about any of them and what happened to them.
Well, and we don't know Polka Dot Man before the Suicide Squad, but amazingly, you learn to love him during the course of that film.
Because they, in a very small scenes, like every time you see somebody sees his mother, you get to know what this guy is about.
Yeah.
And you care about him.
You care about him by the end of that movie. Yep. When he starts throwing up polka dots, you're like, dude, this superpower sucks.
Yeah.
I am so sorry, man. And you just don't get any of that here, which is ironic because we know all these characters way more.
Exactly.
And so, like, to start, let's start at the very beginning. So it starts with Florence Pugh going into a lab and complaining about her life and the grind of her day-to-day life and how it's just like boring.
And I'm getting tired of that whole exposition of her like, I'm bored and I'm this super spy and I'm going to do these amazing things, but I'm tired
my
of that
life
shit.
is supposed to be great, but I don't get anything out of it.
Fucking things is this.
Well, it's every one of everybody's things is this. This is the new thing is I'm a superhero and I'm still bored by life.
Yeah.
My life should be better. I'm a superhero. And it's like, no, dude, that's not what being a superhero is about at all. Being a superhero is about the greatest service you can give to the community. That's what being a superhero is about. And wouldn't you know it, Marvel doesn't get that. No. But once again, and I guess in some ways to their credit, these characters aren't supposed to either. So it kind of is supposed to work here, but it still doesn't. I agree with you. I like Florence Pugh as an actor.
Yeah.
I guess I like Yelena. I kind of nothing Yelena.
Yeah.
Because she's just a funnier Black Widow, but it's just, there's not enough there for me to genuinely care about any of it.
The only time I cared about her, I think, was, and this may be because she was the best part of the show, was the Hawkeye show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that was another thing, was she's complaining about her life, and I'm like, when was the last time you saw Kate?
Yeah.
Go find Kate. Kate's looking to recruit people. She's in the life that you want to lead. Why are you doing this when your answer is to go and find Kate Bishop, which would also make us as an audience very happy.
Yeah.
So, like, why are you complaining and doing this job that you hate when you have something that clearly could make your life better, but you're just not acknowledging it in any way? It's that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D-ism again of like, does the other stuff count? Because no one acknowledges it in the story.
And we always got to throw this out there. You're at the end of the episode. There's no Kingpin, no Kate Bishop, no Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And they're in New York City and all the shit's going down.
We're going to get to that in a second, too. So Yelena's doing this whole thing, and she's complaining about stuff, and then we go back to Val, who really should be Victoria Hand, and I know why she's not, because they blew that wad on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yep.
And so they can't have her be Victoria Hand, even though she is so very clearly Victoria Hand, to this almost laughable degree. She, again, is Victoria Hand, but with a sense of humor. And so Victoria Hand is supposed to be like Maria Hill, but evil.
Which I heard somebody online referred, and I laughed at this. They referred to as Chick Fury.
Yes.
And it's kind of how she is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. And it's just like, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is a great actress. I don't get this. And so her whole thing is that she's being impeached by Congress and by the guy from The Wire. Which is awesome. Shit. Yeah. But Wendell Pierce, who's also fucking, what's his name? Perry White.
Yeah, and what's his face in
Jack Ryan. Yeah, he's everywhere. Anyway, I do like Wendell Pierce.
Yeah.
But her whole thing is that she's being impeached, and so she's trying to get rid of all this Black Ops stuff that she's been doing, all the science fair experiments and creating the next Avengers, because apparently the point of this story is that the Avengers are gone and never coming back, which is immediately undone at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
To the point where litigation is involved. And I'm like, at the beginning of this movie, nobody wanted to be the Avengers. And now you have multiple teams that want to be the Avengers? Yeah. What's going on? You can't have both, man. You either have no one who's going to be the Avengers and step up, or you have a team of Avengers that the U.S. government doesn't like and wants to replace with their own.
Yeah.
But you can't have, there are no Avengers, and by the end of the movie, there's two groups of Avengers. That's bad writing. You know what is also bad writing? Having 3 Captain America types on the same team. Also, terrible writing.
Yes.
What are we doing? I don't care that Red Guardian never gets a shield. He's still a Captain America type to the point where he says that he's a Captain America type to U.S. agent.
And I am sick of the point, because after Yelena is bored, she goes and looks out, searches out for Alexei and finds
who is in Baltimore. I want to make this this will be important in a bit.
Yes. And once again, they are turning this character into more of a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, he's Red fucking Guardian.
Yeah.
I loved Red Guardian in the comic books.
Yeah.
This is Red Guardian.
He's like, he's running this limo service.
Yeah.
The Red Guardian limo service.
He's Fat Thor from Endgame.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude.
And like, he's like, oh, my life, blah. And then the moment Yelena starts complaining about Val, he's like, I'll take it. I'll take whatever job she has. I'll take anything. I don't even care. I'm so bored. So he has the exact same problems that she does. Meanwhile, they're both complaining about how they don't have family. You're literally family.
Yes.
All you need to do is just hang out a little bit. No reasons given why they don't hang out. Just Yelena's like, I haven't seen you in a year. We're going to get back to this too, because what have we been saying a lot?
Oh, the timeline.
What year is it?
Yeah, what year is this?
They're going to reference it's been X amount of time.
Yeah.
A lot. but never give us an actual year.
Yeah.
So this just makes the problem worse. It's been a year since you saw him. Since when? Was that after you got back from the snap? Was that sometime during the events of the Eternals? Was that sometime after Hawkeye? When? When was that year ago? Yeah. Just so that I have a frame of reference to go off of. So, but they're going to mock us further on this. Yeah. Val gives her this job, and now she has to go to Colorado and clean out this mountain. For anybody who doesn't know, Thunderbolt Mountain is in Colorado.
Yes.
So we can presume that they are cleaning out Thunderbolt Mountain, essentially. Also, it's important to know that the name Thunderbolts was the name of Yelena's soccer team when she was a kid.
Yes.
Who Alexei remembers certain people sponsoring and everybody else says other people sponsored.
Yes.
And this is hilarious, guys. I know you don't think it's funny, but it is so fucking funny. We're gonna talk about it all the time.
So dumb.
And so this is a recurring joke that doesn't work the entire movie, is that, we're the Sasquatch Creek Thunderbolts.
This is our team name. It's not our team name. It's our team name.
It's our team name.
I'm so tired of this
I didn't sign off on this team name.
Oh, it's so fucking dumb.
Guys, this sucks. So Yelena shows up at Thunderbolt Mountain, and she is hired to kill Ghost. And so Ghost shows up and she walks in after Ghost.
Yes.
And who shows up? U.S. Agent. He tries to kill Yelena. And then who shows up? Taskmaster. And Taskmaster is going to kill U.S. Agent, who's going to kill Yelena, who's going to kill Ghost, who's going to kill Taskmaster.
Yes.
And it's quickly revealed that this is just Val trying to clean up loose ends. Except, not quickly enough, because Taskmaster has enough time to show her face, that they did get Olga Karolinko's face for a day, and then get shot in the head.
Shot in the fucking head.
So she was the entire reason for the Black Widow movie. The whole crux of Natasha's entire character growth in that movie is Taskmaster. I remember because I had immense problems with this decision.
Yes.
And then you just kill her. And she's just gone. And it's not like something that's going to mean something later on where like Yelena's like, but I knew her and she was nice. And everybody has arguments over. No, it literally means nothing to the plot. Why was she in this movie only to be killed off immediately? What the actual fuck was this?
Dumb.
She has a terrible costume. She's not Taskmaster in any way besides by name. She doesn't even have the right colors. And then she gets shot in the head. What the actual fuck was the point of this? What the actual fuck was the point of this?
It was so dumb.
There's none point.
It was so
none
dumb.
point. And so they're going to burn the building, and then this guy shows up, and Bob is just like, I'm Bob, I don't know. And they say it's Louis Pullman, but it's not. It's Bill Pullman. I've seen this face for 30 years. That's Bill Pullman. I don't know what magic they pulled to de-age him, but that's Bill Pullman. So you can call him whatever you want, but I know who that is.
He's not nearly as wooden as his father as an actor.
He has a little bit more chops.
A little more charisma, so I was kind of happy to see.
He shows up and he's like, I'm Bob. And everybody's like, Bobby, what are you doing? Blah. And they get out of this room.
And then he becomes like Yelena's pet. Like
he's her pet project.
Yeah.
Where she's reliving a bad memory and he's there. And so now they're bonding. And they're like, what was that? And they got to do the elevator climb from Emperor's New Groove.
Yes, which is...
And then they almost all die. And then they don't. And then there's more fighting. And then U.S. Agent has a weird bad memory about him being a neglectful father and all these other... Also, it's kind of softly implied to me that he marries Battlestar's sister.
Yeah.
And just fully ignores her again. So what is the character development of any of these people?
Well, they went out of their way to make him out like you should want Suicide Squad, all bad people. You want to root for them though because they're obviously the protagonists of the movie. These people, mostly bad people, you want to root for them. They make him out to be the worst human being.
He has no redeeming qualities.
No, not even a little.
You have Wyatt Russell, one of the most charismatic characters ever.
I like him as an actor.
I love him as an actor.
He's
if
awesome.
You've never seen 22 Jump Street, oh my God.
He's fantastic.
He's so good in 22.
He's so fucking
good.
And even the Godzilla TV show is great in that.
And anytime he has to play young Kurt Russell, great stuff. Again, I've seen this face for 30 years. You can call him whatever you want. That's Kurt Russell.
That's Kurt Russell.
It's Kurt Russell with Goldie Hawn's hair. It's weird, but it works. So you have U.S. Agent. And I will say, John Walker is a douchebag. So they got that 100%
He's
right.
a douche, but they made him into like.
But like as
the
a result,
worst
you
douche
can't
fucking
like
man.
him.
Yeah.
Because he just sucks, which is what I've always said about John Walker the entire time, is that he just sucks.
Yeah.
If you like John Walker, you have problems because he sucks. You need to reevaluate a lot of things that you believe in if you like this character, because he's a terrible person.
Yeah.
And he's always been, and he will always be. And so I guess in that way you got it right. So they are leaving this facility, and now Val is learning that maybe something with Bob could be a thing, and she learns this in a call in a limo. What? There's a Bob? What do you mean there's a Bob in the facility and there are people still alive? What's going on? Oh, I gotta... And so she goes to Colorado, but you know who's driving that limo? Red Guardian. Red Guardian, who I want to remind everybody is in Baltimore. This is important. So they get out of the facility. There's this whole back and forth about like, oh, we're going to do this thing. We got this plan. It's not a good plan. We're going to do it anyway. And then the plan goes to shit. And they get out of the facility. And the only way they get out of the facility is by having Bob be like, I'm going to be a hero. And he goes and he gets shot by a bunch of guns. And Val's like, no. And Young's like, no. And then Bob has superpowers because he's the Sentry. Of course he fucking is. Because if you know Marvel, you know who the Sentry is. He's one of the 9 Superman equivalents that Marvel has kicking around out there, with fucking Hyperion and Gladiator and like literally 6 other guys. There's so many Superman equivalencies. You think the boys were the first ones to have that idea? No. Bob can fly now, and Bob falls out of the sky and crashes, and everybody's like, well, Bob's dead. I guess we're going to leave. And then they leave. They run into Alexei, who has driven his limo from Baltimore overnight to Colorado. And it is at this moment where we all look around and we're like, does Marvel know what size is, how size works, how space works? Do you know how far Baltimore is from Colorado? You can pick anywhere in Colorado. I don't even care. It can be the most eastern point in Colorado, which would be crazy because that's the flattest point in Colorado. And there's no way. I know, because I've driven it.
Yeah.
There is no way. Driving all night, they imply that he has a pee bottle in it. I don't care. There is no way.
Especially a big limo like that only goes probably 80 miles an hour at best.
Which they show. His top speed is 50 miles an hour in this car. There is literally no way. So you're insane on top of everything. There are 5th graders who understand geography better than you. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But what are you doing? Here's my thing. What are you doing? So now we get the funny split up of these 5 idiots running around trying to figure out their lives. I guess it's 4 idiots.
And then, Bucky shows up.
And then Bucky shows up to save them at one point or arrest them, and then is like, I guess I need a team. I guess you guys are going to have to do. And, we're the Thunderbolts. We're the Mississippi Creek Thunderbolts, whatever the fuck her name was. Brought to you by Dimitri. No, it's not brought to you by Dimitri. It's brought to you by Sam. What's a? Who fucking cares?
So dumb.
Is this funny? This is not funny. No one could deliver this and have it be funny.
It's so stupid.
So Bob gets the full makeover. Bob gets hair extensions.
Which is so goofy.
Which, like, if you just wanted Bob to have long hair, you could have done that without him having hair extensions. He was in a med bed.
And then they dyed it blonde.
And then they dyed it blonde because Sentry is blonde in the comics. Again.
But they say that it's because blondes have like a better image or something like.
But like, so again, I'm just left being like, but you didn't need to.
Yeah.
You could have just had him as a long-haired blonde man in this med bed, and then he gets out and he's been in there for a while, clearly because he has long hair. Mm-hmm. When this character was going to be played by Stephen Yuan, were you going to give him long flowing blonde hair still? What was the plan here? And so they do an okay job of adapting Sentry. It's fine. Sentry kicks the ass of all the Thunderbolts because of course he does.
It's the same kind of thing that with Superman. It's why I've always had this problem where, like, when you have the army going against like this big monster and they shoot it 3 times, it's obviously the bullets don't work, but they're going to keep shooting it.
Yeah.
Well, this fight scene was like that, where it's like Alexei keeps running at him, and it's like, you're not going to hurt him. Why are you shooting him with a gun?
Yeah.
You know that is not going to affect him.
Yeah.
And they just continuously do that. It's the dumbest trope.
It's so stupid.
I'm so tired of that.
And then he, like, maybe Sentry had telekinesis. It's possible, but
Yeah,
I
but-
think that was a little much. I don't know that you need to have
It's like
full
they're trying to
telekinesis.
put their Wanda into him now. It's
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, I really don't remember Sentry doing telekinetic stuff. I remember him being a Superman clone. So he did a lot of punching. He had lasers. He had force push and all these other things. But he didn't have, like, telekinesis. When I say force push, I mean, like, he would push the air at such force that it would push you
like the
backwards.
Hulk slap.
Exactly.
Clap.
Which he kind of does at one point.
Yeah.
And so, wouldn't you know it, the big thing about all of this is that Bob has been a drug addict the whole time and came from a very abusive home and has a whole host of mental disorders and problems. And I would say interesting, usually interesting. This is not, again, this is a little different than the Sentry that I know, but not so far off that I don't recognize him. I did have to go back to the comics that I have while I was reading it, while I was watching it, and be like, is this, what, do I remember this? Is this a thing? Because at one point, going back to this whole idea of him being telepathic, they get into his mind via Emma Frost. It's not like he brings them into a mind domain or something. So, like, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on him being telepathic. But all of this is to end with this idea of the void, which is the thing that Elena has been running from the whole time, because she keeps on saying, like, I feel like I'm on the edge of a void. And this is how she and Sentry bond, is that they keep on talking about being at the edge of the void. And is it easier just to kill yourself and, release yourself and everybody else in this world from your hold? And okay, all right.
But the thing that jumped out at me, and I wonder if this jumped out at you, is they took the Void's power from Dagger and Cloak and Dagger, where, like, people looked like he was vaporizing them. No, he was just sucking them.
This was the thing that really pissed me off, is that you have the Thunderbolts realign because the Void is loose.
Yeah.
They had this stun button that they were supposed to be able to use to shut down the Sentry, and it doesn't work. Oh, it's crazy. And so the Void is now loose. I did like how they did the Void, that they just kind of backlit him. So
it did look.
It was cool. It was cool. Yeah. You have this genuine moment where you have all these parts of this building falling down, and all the Thunderbolts come together to save people. And I'm like, okay, this is good. We were just talking about in Superman that we don't see enough civilians being saved. This is good. I like this. You have this big moment between Yelena and Alexei, and she calls him Dad, and it's very heartfelt. And I like that moment. I like that moment a lot, in part because it's outside of Grand Central, but also because it's a good moment.
Well, again, the thing that I have an issue with that is the timing of that moment. It's like the I love you in the middle of a battle thing. It's like, this timing was just off.
Yeah, because they got their asses kicked and literally just walk out of the building. They're like, well, we can't stop this. I guess we're going to leave. Yeah. And they just leave. They're escorted out by the army. It's not like they get thrown out of the building and have to regroup on the ground. No, they take the elevator down, which is, again, kind of lame. I get it that a lot of these aren't superhumans in the traditional sense. You have two super soldiers. Well, no, because Black Widow does have super strength and heightened healing factor. At least typically. It's hard to say in this version of the Red Room what their version comes with. But I did like that moment. And then you have this little girl, and she gets poofed. And you're like, whoa, are we going to take, like, a really dark turn? And this was the moment where I was like, I guess I'll give them an out, sort of, for why you don't have Peter and Kate and Kingpin and Dee Dee and all these other guys. Why is nobody here? I'll give you an out because it's this psychic attack. So even if they were in the neighborhood, the events of, saving all these civilians happens very quickly, and then the psychic attack happens. And so it's like, it's not like, Pete would have to be in the neighborhood in order to do anything, which is his neighborhood, but
also the Avenger Tower started to
come apart
in plenty of time for them to understand that
they should have been on their way at the very least.
Exactly.
And so, but this was the moment I was like, so this is going to go two ways. Either A, this is going to get really dark, which this movie kind of needs, or B, this is going to mean absolutely nothing. Which is what I think is going to happen.
Oh, as soon as the little girl poofed, I'm like, there's no way that Marvel...
No, exactly. I was like, either you just killed a little girl, and I applaud you for it, or none of this means anything. Yep. And wouldn't you know it, none of it means anything, because by the end of this next sequence, everybody's back, and everybody's fine, and none of it fucking matters. And it was just maddening to me. I was just like, what is the fucking... This is it? This is what we're doing now? And the thing that really pissed me off was the end of this movie. I like them having to fight through these psychic war grounds. I like that. I wish that we had seen everybody else's visions that they get trapped in. We only see Elena's and Bob's. We don't see everybody else. We just hear like, oh, that was unpleasant. I would really like to see some of those moments because a lot of these characters really need character growth. Like really, 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 really. Again, which is shocking because we knew them coming into the movie. You would think that they would be somewhat fully fledged. No, they are still like these halfway characters that are based on tropes and catchphrases and not actual characters. So we get to the end of this movie, and the movie essentially resolves because all of the Thunderbolts come together and hug Bob and say, we'll be here for you, Bob. You don't have to do this alone. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, listen, I get it. For anybody who doesn't understand, the Sentry's powers are the way they categorize it correctly, the power of 1,000 exploding suns. That is the categorization from the comics. They got that right. Mm-hmm. But the more Sentry uses his powers, the stronger the Void gets. So he tries not to use his powers in order to avoid the Void, which they, in the comics, they went back and forth on whether the Void was real or imaginary or imposed or whether it was an actual part of Sentry. I think by the end, they determined that it is just part of who Sentry is. It's like this unconscious element of himself that wants to create these disasters so he can be a hero. The end of this movie is Bob basically just punching the shit out of the Void while the Void laughs. And then all the Thunderbolts come together and hug him and say, we'll be here for you. You don't have to do this alone. No, that is not the answer to this equation. The answer to this equation, as a person with depression and anxiety issues and a whole host of alphabet soup to go with it, is the Void is you. The Void is part of you.
You have to embrace it.
You have to understand that. And you have to understand that there is not a day that will go by where the Void is not a part of your life. That's why it's hard. That's why people take the way out, is because this is never going away. And the more you fight it and the more you deny it, the more you say, that's not me, the stronger the Void gets. What you need to do is embrace the Void and say, the Void is me and I am the Void, and we are together in this. And that's not what they do. Bob does not have to take any responsibility for any of his actions.
Yeah, nothing.
There is no fallout for anything that happens. Bob is left being basically the watch guy, which is he's the Sentry. But he can't use his powers for anything lest the Void comes back. And I'm like, you fucking missed it. After fucking 2 hours of this shit, you didn't stick the landing. Yep. You still missed the point in all of this. He's still being put upon to these other people. He has no agency within his own life still. He is still effectively a child, a baby, because he can't deal with this problem. Yeah. And so instead of finding help or learning to deal with it or any of these other things, he's just going to hide behind this group of people that are going to keep him sane. Yeah. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Do you understand that sucks as a resolution to this storyline and is the exact wrong message? Yeah. In this situation, that you did this entire allegory about mental health and then you flopped on the landing. What the hell are you doing? And then they're like, don't worry about that because we have a press conference to get to. And so they come out of the Void and Val is there. We also don't get to see what Val saw in the Void, which I think would also be hugely important. Yes. We get to see a little bit at one point of her being a child and her dad is a gangster. Yes. So they stole Huntress's storyline too, on top of everything else. You stole Huntress's storyline from DC Comics. Are you fucking kidding me? This is exactly what happens in Birds of Prey. What the fuck is actually happening right now? So you have Val is like, oh, hang on, guys, wait, we can talk about this. And she steps through a tarp.
Which was the dumbest fucking
And on the other side of the tarp is a full press conference to announce the new Avengers.
It was so stupid.
And none of them do anything. Not even Bucky. None of them do anything. Yeah. And, like, I'm just left being shocked. Like, Bucky, you're okay with this too? Nobody's going to do anything. And then Yelena leans in and says, we own you now. Like, that's supposed to merit everything that's happened. No.
What does that even mean?
That means nothing. So all of this meant nothing. Yes. So what you're telling me is that all of this meant absolutely nothing. Yep. And then we get another kick in the face because Marvel, after the end credits, has what we've been looking for in a way. And they say 14 months later, from when? From when? From when? When did all of this happen? I need to know when all of this happened. From when? Yeah. What happened in the interceding 14 months? It feels like probably some important shit, but we're not going to see or know anything about that. All we need to know is that it's 14 months later and Sam Wilson has filed litigation over the name the Avengers, a team that he didn't want to form, and we're told that the events of Red Hulk take place before this movie. Because they reference General Thunderbolt Ross,
the president, turning
into the Hulk.
Yeah.
What year is it? That's all I want to know. But we don't have time to think about that because we have Alexei in a NASCAR-style jumpsuit, and then the fucking Fantastic Four coming in from space.
Yeah.
And what the actual fuck was any of this? This means nothing.
It was so dumb.
This means nothing. I'm so angry.
Yeah.
You left it all on the floor again. You blew it again.
It was a worse version of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And it, like you said, it meant nothing.
Yeah.
Like, to me, this was a C-.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, it was fine.
It was fine.
There were some parts that were all right.
Yeah, I like some elements of it. When Bucky shows up and gets rid of the convoy that's chasing them.
Yeah,
that's
was
a good
awesome.
moment. That's
that
a good moment.
Cool.
There's moments with Bob and Yelena that I really like.
Yeah.
There's moments with Yelena just being a character that I really like.
Yeah.
But ultimately, by the end of it, I'm just like, this means nothing. And the parts that should mean something, you got wrong. You got openly wrong. It's not like, oh, you were on the right track, but you didn't quite get... No, you got it wrong.
Yeah.
You just got it wrong. There's no situation where someone can say, well, my mental health, and it gets them a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Yeah.
No.
Especially, like, okay, so, yeah, he didn't kill those people, but you can't tell me they're not psychologically...
damaged.
Fucked up forever.
Yeah.
Especially that little girl.
That little girl?
Dude. So it's like, and the damage done to the city once again. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of buildings that got fucking
So
hurt,
one
destroyed.
building fell down. I guess we got to take care of that. Avengers Tower is once again fallen. Also, I hate this whole back and forth of Avengers Tower being sold. Ever since Tony sold it in Homecoming, I've hated it. You ruined it. Why? This is more progression in this. We don't have an Avengers. So we're going to get rid of Avengers Tower. Why?
Yeah.
We clearly still need the Avengers. You talk about Avengers Compound still being a thing in Western New York. Why are we getting rid of Avengers Tower?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any
You
fucking
can have
sense.
the tower in the city and have the compound and have the West Coast Avenger compound.
Yes.
And
Because
like,
you're run by fucking Tony Stark. I don't think that was ever going to be an issue in terms of financing the whole thing. You could have it be one of those interesting things where Avengers Tower is kind of a tourist trap.
Yeah.
And there's really interesting stuff that's held there, but nothing too dangerous, except for that one thing that's held in the basement that nobody talks about. There's stuff you can do here, and you're just not doing it. And it makes me so mad.
It's so dumb.
But look, we have the bar. It's the bar from Avengers Tower. And Val's making a drink like Tony Stark. Aren't you happy? No, I'm not fucking happy. This means nothing.
Yeah.
All of this means nothing. It's like,
I agree.
It's like Val's assistant. I want to like this moment. I really want to like this moment, but it ultimately means nothing.
Yeah. And that was another thing is I can understand he probably got on a plane, but before Bucky showed up at in Colorado to fight off the convoy, he was in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
And now
and they get back from Colorado to New York.
And they don't explain how.
And they don't say how, even though it's
Yes.
a group of special forces people. Like, we can assume that there's a private plane somewhere.
Yeah. But now you could explain it away if you said, okay, Bucky still has access to a Quinjet.
Yes.
That can make
that would work.
jump.
That's
Yes.
all you need. Like, all we need is Wendell Pierce and his conversation about reading the packets to talk about, did you give up your Quinjet yet? And Bucky just kind of like looks off to the side like, I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah.
There's stuff you can do. There's easy stuff you can do. We're willing to give it to you because this is a comic book. If you would just embrace the genre instead of running away from it. Makes me crazy. It makes me so fucking bonkers nuts.
It just shows that Marvel still has no idea what the fuck they're
We
doing.
haven't even gotten to the fact that last I checked, I thought Ghost had her powers removed, not stabilized.
Yeah.
I thought they had been removed. And now you're saying, no. Jan stabilized her powers. And she didn't go to the raft?
Yeah.
After everything that happened in San
After
Francisco.
everything she fucking did.
Really? But really? Like, I need so much more than what they're giving me. And instead they're giving me stupid jokes and one-liners because this is fucking Marvel 101. We can't have anything be too serious, even the movie where it's supposed to be really serious.
See, what it seems to me is Marvel is under the implication that the fans will not look into it the way we are looking into this. But what they don't understand is the fans that are still watching these movies are us now, because once again, the fans that they tried to court are going elsewhere. And so we are going to look into this shit. Well, so make a cohesive story that makes sense.
Did I send you that clip from Crimson Tide with Denzel Washington?
Yes.
It's this clip that Instagram served me, and it's this guy getting basically talked down by Denzel Washington for overstepping his command, essentially, because he had put some lower level guy, this mid-level guy, put some lower level guy on some bad routine because he liked the wrong Silver Surfer. And so there had been this argument over who Silver Surfer is the best. And the guy at the mid-level is like, I know, I shouldn't have gotten upset. I should have just, dealt with it. It's fine. And Denzel Washington is like, don't you feel bad? You did the right thing. The Kirby Silver Surfer is the only Silver Surfer. It's like, this is who you should be making the movies for.
And that's why Denzel Washington's a jewel.
Yeah. This is who you should be making these movies for, because these are the people who care. When you say Silver Surfer, the vast majority of people are going to make fun of you. So you have to make it for the people that don't.
Yes.
And when you don't do that, you lose out on stuff. I introduced some friends to Lower Decks, to Star Trek Lower Decks, and they love it because it's so in the weeds on all the nerd stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, that's who you should be making this shit for. It should not be this other nonsense. Yeah. And it should not be for 12-year-olds when the content of this is not for 12-year-olds.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, folks. Well, I don't need a nap now. That was NerdPod Generations, episode 170. We really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed that.
Another deep Marvel disappointment.
Deep Marvel disappointment.
I agree. It's a C-. It
was good. It was good NFL talking.
I like talking about the NFL. That's fun.
Yeah. I'm happy it is back.
I'm looking forward to the Bills having alternate fun new uniforms.
Yes.
They have uniforms that make it look like they're out in the snow, which is great. I love that has become their brand, is big snow games. Yes. I love that's their brand. That is cool. Why are we wearing them on November 5th? This decision I don't get.
In the words of most kids, because
we have to play the Patriots and they're also wearing new uniforms.
So once again, NerdPod Generations episode 171 is in the books. We really hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to next week. I think next week might be Alien Earth.
Yes.
And probably more NFL talk,
Probably more NFL talk.
I think each week is going to be NFL
Yeah, there's going to be NFL check-ins pretty regularly, I think.
Pretty regularly. Which is fine. I think our fans are fine.
There have been some good trailers that dropped. I don't know if you watched the I Like Me, John Candy documentary trailer.
No, I've not watched it.
It might make you cry.
I know.
It starts with Bill Murray saying, I'm going to try not to cry.
Oh.
And ends with God crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, I need to watch this documentary.
So, Al, thinking about this, who does our artwork and our music?
Our art is by Kortney Howell. Our music is by Brendan Williams and James Connolly. I am Alfred Judson.
And I am Stu Taylor.
And until next week, friends and enemies, we'll probably be on track sometime. Hey, hour 30, not bad.
Yes.
Have a great week, friends and enemies.